Namaste, aka Anlome, and welcome to my studio. Today is going to be a quick pour. This is a thank you for my friend Shelley, who helped me with my new profile picture. I got some photos done, and she worked some Photoshop magic to make me even look better, so I told her I would send her a piece as a thank you. This is 12 inches by 24 inches, and she wanted reds, white, and gold. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to make this a real-time tutorial. Because the piece is so small, it will be easy for us to work through this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put down a lubrication layer with my white. So the lubrication layer is specifically to give the colors something to float on. I have zoomed this in. I think I may have zoomed it in too much. There we go. I want you to be able to see better. All right. So we're going to put down some white as the lubrication layer. And this is just a Liquitex Freestyle Offset palette, but you can use an icer from the dollar store or a spatula if you wish. Don't take anything out of the kitchen that you plan on putting back. Once it's in the studio, it has to stay in the studio. Alright, so we're just going to spread that out a bit. Give everything something to move on. And she wanted reds, so I took out 5 different reds. I was going to do this as a puddle pour. Yeah, I think I'll start out as a puddle pour. Oh, I'm blocking your view. My apologies. So if you want to know how to make my paints, you can go to the link right here and see how I make them. I don't use mediums in these paints. I'm planning on doing some medium experiments over the summer. But I teach to the general public, so I don't want to use mediums and additives, simply because I deal with a lot of seniors and children. And some of the additives can be toxic. Let's see, some Naphthol Crimson. Ooh, that looks almost exactly the same. I know it's not. This one will dry darker. Actually, all acrylic paints will dry a half to a shade darker, just so that you know. Okay, puddle pour here, puddle pour here. So for my puddle pours, it's exactly what it's called. I make puddles of color. I have a few different techniques. This was the very first one I used. I just like to get a lot of paint down. And then we have this one here. I'm just going to make some nice little cool. I don't know if you can see that, but when I squeeze the bottle really hard, it does a little blendy thing in the paint, which is really cool. And I'm blocking your view again. I apologize. I'm used to my camera being up. I've recently moved things around in my studio. I needed more room because my canvases are getting so big. I have yet to permanently mount my camera directly overhead on the ceiling, which will give you a bird's eye view, I'm hoping. Sometime after my show is done, which is on June 16th, that's when my big show for collusion art is happening. I'm just going to put a little bit of gold in. When you use metallic paints, they tend to sink to the bottom, so I tend to leave them to the end so they float on top. But I don't use a lot until the very end, but I wanted a little bit of gold in there. So So then what you do is you take it, and I call this the first throw. I just want to get the paint moving. Turn this around so you can see it. Woo. And I like the paint to go all the way over the edge. I don't like canvas showing. But that's me. It doesn't have to be you. Oh, and then we're going to go this way. Ooh, I like this one so far. This one's looking pretty cool. And then I just want it to go over the edge right here. There we go. Get this corner down here. And then that corner in the back over there. Right here, this corner. I am very violent with my canvases. Anyone who's been following me for a while will know that. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh, I need to get some paint here. Just like to make, the corners are notorious for missing paint. And sometimes it's difficult for me to see if it's white paint or if it's paint. Let me just flip this around here. Oh. Okay. Just touch. I have enough paint on my hands. I can just touch it. All right. I actually really like that one just the way it is with the little, with the swirlies. All right, let's get the heat gun. So the heat gun is not meant to move the paint or dry the paint in any way. It's just meant to pop the bubbles that have rise to the surface. You can actually drop your piece a couple of times, which will force the air bubbles to the top, and then heat gun. I think it needs, I need a little bit of gold that way. Then you can just shake it so it doesn't look like a line. You can just move it a little bit. Do you see how then it becomes part of the painting? Oh, smudgies, that's not good. I actually like this one like this. It's very rare that I don't do a second throw, but this looks fantastic. So I'm very excited about this. I will be releasing this video after my friend Shelley receives it. So I'm going to put this aside and let it dry. Let me get a close-up here for you so that you can see it. Oops, wrong way. Super cool. Awesome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down here so you can follow me on my artful journey. If you have any questions, down in the dibbly-doo is fantastic. I answer all questions. And of course, thank you for joining me. It's always better when you're here. Bye!